Right.
but it looked, it's the barracks and all that, so it looks like it could be a German, Nazi
Yeah.
concentration camp. So we filmed up there.
Excellent. Have you actually ever been to
Yeah.
visit one at all? And have you had the chance to come over and visit anything like that in Europe at all, in
Well,
person?
I've been to Germany.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't go to any of the concentration camps because I was there maybe 10 years ago as part of World Youth Day, where the Pope goes to
Oh yeah.
a country and says a mass because I'm Catholic.
Yeah.
And so I had the opportunity to go over there and hear this mass. And so I got to see a lot of Germany, but, of course, when you're there with a bunch of, people from your church and all that.
Not the kind of thing you really do, is it?
The last thing they want to do is go and tour a concentration camp.
Yeah.
But I fell in love with Germany. I fell in love with the German people. Just the especially the small towns and the food and the architecture. I want to go back, and I want to go back, and I want to go to the camps because I am fascinated by World War II. I am fascinated by this sounds so awful. I'm fascinated by the Nazis and the concentration camps and what they did. I study them and it's just, it's interesting to me. And I don't know why. Maybe in a past life I was at one of the camps and I died there. I don't know. But I just want to go to experience that because I've heard people, who go and tour them, just what a powerful experience it is. And I want to go to the Anne Frank house and I want to go through the museum because it's, of course I've read that diary so many times. And, oh my God, what an inspiration she was. And
definitely.
What a tragedy that we lost such a great writer and someone who,
what she could,
good
exactly.
than she has,
Definitely. I mean, I've got something very similar. As I actually lived in Germany a year ago myself, because what's my German? That was the degree that I did, was German in uni. So I lived out there near Dresden for a year, and I've got the same affinity. I absolutely love the country. I love the people. They are the friendliest people going. They really are. It's a lovely place, and I really want to get back there sometime. But I visited Dachau near Munich. The concentration camp down there, and I was only 16. It was actually a school trip at the time when I did that, so it wasn't when I lived there. It was previous to there. But that was it is. What people say is very true. It's very, you go over and it's. Did I say 10 years, 20 years ago? Oh my God, this is how old I am, Joe. I just thought about that. 10 years ago was 2006, and no, it was 1996 when I lived there. But I went to Dachau, and it was a very, very surreal, silent and emotional place, and it's something, if people can go there, I would recommend to actually just go and visit them and just to see for yourself. But the whole place, the whole of Europe. I was at the 60th anniversary of D-Day. I was over in Normandy, so I went to visit all the sites there as well. And again, these are if I'll shout and scream for people to come and experience, because the spirits are still there. Because we were in a campsite, and is a ghost story for you. Just to take it right off topic. We were out in a campsite. There was a fog which came in, which was just a wall of fog. And normally when you go to fog, it looks like it goes back, it disappears. But this didn't. There was about 15 of us, and this fog literally moved back. If we walked towards it, if we stopped, it stopped. And it was a really long way. And in the end, we just poured some whiskey in and threw a cigarette in, and one of the lads and just said, "Here you go, lads, have that on us." And we walked down a country lane as well with 15-foot high hedgerows, because it's right in the middle of the Battle of the Bocage, where the tanks, the big battles, right in the middle of Normandy. And we were walking down these hedgerows, and there was no way you could get through the hedgerow. My friend was about 50 feet in front of me, turned a slight bend. When I got to the bend, I walked around, and it was a straight road. He wasn't there. And the head, I was getting a feeling that all around me, I could have a feeling as someone was saying, "Get your head down, you're not safe here, go." And he was gone, and I was looking all around me. There's no way he could have got through the hedgerow, so I was like, right, okay. So I kind of turned and walked back and went to the camp, and then I saw him coming across the field, And I said to him, "Where did you go?" And he's like, "What do you mean, where did I go? Where did you go?" He goes, "I turned round and walked back and you weren't there." And I was like, "Seriously?" I said, "Because I was walking, we'd crossed. The lane was literally 6 feet wide, so there's no way we could have passed each other. It was like we must have been in 2 dimensions. That's how..." Yeah. And both of us attested to the fact that that was what it was like. There was no way we could have got through the hedgerows, and he had the same feeling of someone was telling him, "Get out, you're not safe, we'll take you to safety."
Wow, that's wild.
Yeah, and then that night there was a little copse by the tent, and about 10 p.m. at night, all we heard in the middle of this little forest was "Macht fertig," and it was like, Germans make ready, and the pulling of a machine gun. We all piled over there to see what was there. There's nothing there, no one there at all. So the next day when it was daylight, we went back and looked, and we ended up uncovering a 6-foot-long German slit trench, whereas a machine gun trench. So yeah, there is really, really very, very, I'll say spiritual, and the ghosts are still haunt there. So it's people should go. And that was a long way to say people should just get over there. Sorry about that.
No, that's cool.
But yeah, no, that's that's the kind of experience. And Dachau was the same. You had that sort of you had that feeling of intensity around there, and it was a very, very good place. So if you can get back, go back.
Yeah, I definitely plan to.
Excellent. Yeah, okay. Sorry for that little sideline there. Moving back to you again, Joe. Is there anything? I mean, you've mentioned a couple of things. I was going to say, anything on the horizon at the moment that we might be able to see you in that you're allowed to discuss? Obviously, there's one which you couldn't discuss, but you mentioned a radio play as well before that you're working on. I
mentioned a what?
A radio. Did you mention the radio play or a radio?
Oh yeah, the radio drama
that's
ongoing. It's called The Setisverse, and I always post the new episodes on my social media on that, and I've got a couple new animated voiceover things that I'm working on. I've got a new animated series called The Morenos, which should be out in a couple of months. I just did a couple voices for a short animated horror film called Shadow of a Rose, which they just finished, so that should be being released soon. I'm going to start recording the voices for the second season of another series I'm in called Super Llama Man, which we should be picking that up probably beginning of 2017. I'm going to be doing a production of a Renee Taylor play called Love Always. Gloria's directing that. That's through the school. Yeah. And then we're also going to be doing a production of Antony and Cleopatra.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So a lot of good things. And I'm still auditioning and all that stuff. I've got an audition for a voiceover job that I've got to record and send in by Thursday. And that's for a film it's already been made. I think it's a German film, but they're looking for the English actors to dub it. So that would be exciting, because if I get that, that'd be my first dubbing job. And it's my first dad role. They're having me come in and play a dad, and I'm so excited about that, because of my voice and because of what I do, I get cast a lot of times as women.
Right, okay.
So I've played a lot of moms. I've played a lot of teenage girls. So I always get excited when I get an audition for a guy, or when I get cast as a guy. I'm so excited. I'm like, yay! I get to be a boy. I get to be a man. It's like I'm tired of playing these teenage girls and these moms and these little 7-year-old kids.
Yep.
No, I'm kidding. I'll never get tired of it. If I can make some money off of it and do that, who am I to complain? Whatever. It's fun. It gives me a nice little niche. So yeah, I'm just, every day just hustling, and I've got a ton of half-finished books that I need to finish so I can, get some income from that. And I've got, a series that I've left in my books that, people want the next book. So I'm working on that, and always something to do. Always something, which is good, because, it's like I said, I'm a workaholic. I like being busy. and I'm always working, which is funny because, you know, that's a very Virgo trait, and I have no Virgo in me at all. I always said if I was a Virgo, or if I had any kind of Virgo in me, I could probably rule the world. So who knows where that work ethic comes from? Probably from my mom.
Yeah, probably passed down to you.
Yeah.
Oh, that's excellent. No, so I'll look out for those, and I'll make sure I can retweet you as well when you put them out and share them. Definitely, it would be great to see you on screen and obviously and in voiceovers as well. It'd be brilliant.
Yeah.
Fantastic. You're welcome. I've got 2 more questions. You'll be glad to know. That's all.
Okay.
Okay. The first one's a bit of a fun one. I've kind of made it. Someone asked it once, and I've made it my signature question because I think it's a cracking one. And it's, if you were to have a Muppet made of you, what character would it be most like?
Oh my God, that's so funny that you asked me, because I love the Muppets, and
they're awesome, aren't they?
I don't know if I can say this or not, or who cares. I've auditioned for Muppets before, and I was able to audition for my favorite Muppet, which is Animal.
Oh,
that was so fun to audition for him, and I'm still holding out hope that I got it. But you know, it's like I'm the type of actor that, like, until I see it, like, you know, in the film or on the TV, I'm like, oh, I still got it. I still have a chance.
Yeah.
But so yeah, if you know, it would probably be some kind of like little animal, you know, because I've got a lot of energy, and I'm you know, out there and weird, and have a weird sense of humor, and I find stuff funny that most normal people don't find funny. So yeah, it'd probably be Animal.
Cool. Sounds good to me.
Maybe Animal with a little bit of Miss Piggy, because she was the one who wanted to be in show business.
Oh dear, yeah, no, Miss Piggy. Oh dear. I mean, I can do a little bit of a Kermit impression. It's not a brilliant one. I did it to I had Mike Quinn, who's actually a Muppeteer. He's been a Muppeteer for 26 years. He was on the other week, and I did my Kermit to him, and he was like, okay. So I was like, oh dear. And it's like,
that's funny.
So bear with me. It's like, Joe, you're needed on set, Joe.
Oh my
That's
God,
my little Kermit.
I love it.
And you got Fozzie, waka waka waka. He's like, you know.
Oh yeah.
I do Yoda, but I just turned it around for Fozzie. Yeah, there you go. That's kind of my humour.
I love it.
Cool. So the final question is, obviously there's a lot of people out there who are starting out in their careers and trying to make them, you know, trying to make it and trying to pursue a career and pursue themselves into this industry that you are in, and you have been pushing your work and working your way through. Is there anything you'd like to say to them? Words of advice for the aspiring actors and words of advice to fans?
I think if you're aspiring and you want to get into the business, it's just all about tenacity, keeping it up, not looking to try to be famous really quick, not worrying about being rich, famous, all that. I was watching an old interview with Betty Davis the other day while I was doing work. I put on all this shit on YouTube to have background noise while I work. But, you know, Betty Davis was saying that, you know, it takes 15 years of hard work and sweat before you get the limousines and the mansion and the fame and the celebrity. And, you know, I think that's really true, is all of that fluff will come eventually. And that's the payoff. And, you know, you look at people like, you know, Jack Nicholson was in acting class for 10 years before he got anything. Wow. And he was in acting class with all of these young, good-looking guys that were getting series and films and everything. Yeah. And Jack was going on auditions, getting rejected, not getting it. You know, 10 years he was just in class, working on himself, working on his craft, becoming better, becoming stronger, and now he's a legend. Everybody loves him. You know, you hear so many of those stories, you know, and it's just, if you love it, if you want to be in this business, then you've just got to keep working at it. If you're just going into acting to get rich or to get famous, don't waste your time. You're going to become disappointed. You're going to become bitter. You're going to hate people that are having success. You're going to just turn into an ugly person. There's easier ways to get money and fame. and there's a lot quicker ways to get money and fame, and you got to look at, all of these people. I mean, my God, Estelle Getty.